We're going to be working on finding commission and sales tax and percent of earnings. And so I know a few of these words are going to be new to us, like commission and commission rate. And so we want to make sure we have an understanding of this. Salespeople often work for a commission. A commission is a fee paid to the person who makes a sale. It is usually a percentage of selling price. This percent is called commission rates. Often salespeople are paid a commission plus regular salary. The total pay is a percent of the salary that makes plus the salary. So commission rate plus sales plus commission. So if I am a TV salesperson, I get my salary based on how I get paid, but also if I sell something, I can get part of what I sold back. So I get a certain percentage of the items I sell. And so it's a way of adding to your salary. And so a real estate agent is paid a monthly salary of $900 plus commission. Last month, he sold one condominium for $65,000, earning a 4% commission rate on a sale. How much was his commission? What was his total pay last month? So he's getting $900 for the month, but anytime he sells something, he gets 4% of that item. And so we can go through and find his commission first. We're going to take 4% of the item he sold. And remember, anytime you hear that phrase of, 4% of that means multiply. So we're going to multiply 4% by 65,000, and we get $2,600 was his commission. But he also had a monthly salary of $900. So we're going to take that 900 and add it to his commission value. So this was his salary, and this was his commission. And we just add those together, and he got a total of $3,500 for that month. So you can pause and try this one on your own. A car sales agent is paid a monthly salary of $700 plus commission. Last month, she sold one sports car for $50,000, earning 5% commission. How much was her commission? Was her total pay last month? So pause and solve this. All right, the first thing you want to do is solve for commission. So we want to take the $50,000 and apply 5% to it. So 5% of that, 5% of 50,000 gives me $2,500. Then we go back and we look, her monthly salary was 700. So we take that 700 and we add it in. So a totaling of $3,200 for that month. Now, sales tax is a tax on an item or service. It is a percentage of the purchase price and is collected by the seller. And different things in different states have different taxes. And so if the sales tax rate is 6.75%, how much tax would Adrienne pay if she bought 2 CDs at $16.99 and 1 DVD for $36.29? Well, the first thing we need to know is what was the total amount. So we're going to ignore the tax for the beginning and find out the total amount. And so 2 CDs ends up being $33.98, 1 DVD ends up being $36.29, so a total price of $70.29. But then we need to apply the tax to that. So we need to find out 6.7 of the 70.27. So we multiply. We get 474 when we round. Now a lot of people will stop here. That is how much the tax is, yes, but we want to actually know the total amount as well. And so most of the times you would add that back in to the 70.29. So try this one out on your own. Amy stays in a hotel for $45 per night. She stayed for 2 nights and pays a sales tax of 13%. How much tax did she pay? So pause the video and try this. So first we need to find the total. So 45 for 2 nights is $90. So we take 13% of 90 and get $11.70. So that is our tax. Now, like I said, most problems will turn around and ask you what was the final cost. You would take your tax plus the original. So you would add these two together and get something like $101.70. Annie earns $15,000 monthly. Of that, $114.75 was withheld for Social Security and Medicare. So what percent of Annie's earnings are withheld for Social Security and Medicare? So when you get a paycheck, some parts are taken out, things like taxes and Social Security and so forth. So we want to know 114.75 is what percent of 1,500. So you have a part over the whole. Your part is the 114.75. The part is 114.75, and the whole is the 1,500. And so if we actually just divide those two and multiply by 100, we get the same result. And that's probably going to be the easiest way of doing this. However, we can set this up as cross proportions under the understanding that we want to know over 100 because that's what percent is. And so when we divide those away, we get 7.65. So you can do the same thing here. BJ earns $2,500 monthly. Of that, 500 is withheld for income tax. What percent of BJ's earnings are withheld for income tax? So this is part over the whole. We have $500 over 2,500, and we can set that for finding out what the percent is by putting it over 100. I can cross multiply and solve, or I can just take 500 divided by 2,500, whatever answer I get there, multiply by 100. So either way works. And so I'm going to end up with 50,000 divided by 2,500 gives me 20, so that will be 20%. Make sure we're restating that as 20%. I did multiply by 100. Remember, percent is of 100, so it works out. Try this one on your own. A furniture sales associate earns $960 in commission. His commission was 12% of sales. How much were his sales in May? So this is a 12% is 960. Now remember, of meant multiply. Is in this case is going to mean divide. So I'm going to take the 960 and I'm going to divide it by the 12%. And that's going to be this stage right here. So anytime you see is, you can think divide. So 960 is what percent? Sorry, is 12% is what number? And so we divide that away. And we get S is 8,000. So 770 in commissions. It's 7% of sales. So 770 is 7% of what number? So once again, this is going to be a division problem. And make sure you are converting it back to decimals. So 770 divided by 0.07 gives me 11,000 as an answer. All right. These are going to be your practice quiz problems to bring in for class. Be sure you work all these out, show your work. That way, if you make a mistake, you can get help. And if you've had any questions, be sure that you're bringing in your questions into class. That way, we have something to start with. Thank you.